Okay, so dear Dhamma friends, we're going to start our session. Be comfortable yourself and relax your body and keep your back straight and neck head straight in one line. Gently close your eyes and focus your mind to this bell sound. Focus your mind to this bell sound, and while you focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. Do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when we start this meditation session, it is very important to get the basic information and practice yourself. So, we start with the posture. So, the posture should be your back straight, neck head straight in one line. And also, if you can develop unmovable posture little by little, it takes some time, but when you have the clear purpose regarding practice meditation, then you can get that. It is not difficult. It is just giving your time little bit and the effort. So unmovable posture, that is the first one. Remember that. That is the foundation. And don't listen to this baby talks and telling, oh, you can do this anyway, you can sleeping and doing, walking and doing. So like that. You cannot practice Anapanasati or this contemplating inhalation, exhalation that way. Unless if you have a very strong discipline and practice experience, then you can practice Vipassana meditation, whatever the posture, doesn't matter. But while you're training, remember the very first step, posture. So then number one, work with the posture. Get it right. Get it done yourself. It is okay even you take some time, because after that you done it. Then you can move forward very easily. So when you move, another thing is we focus to in front of our nose and upper lip area, and then we combine, that's called the primary mental object. So then we combine the posture with the primary mental object. Your posture, it is not just to keep the body. So you have the posture to get into primary mental object. See the step by step. This help to that, like that way. Otherwise, the posture is not separate from the primary mental object. You have the posture to gain the clear primary mental object. So cause and effect, when the posture become right, as a result of that, you gain the primary mental object. It's bound each other. Otherwise, just practicing posture is not work. So then And when it comes to in front of your nose and your upper lip area, how you can recognize it? You work with the posture, moving your upper body back and forth and head a little bit up and down and find it. And once you come to the recognize the sensation naturally, hold that posture and don't move your body. So that is number one. And number two, you get into the same. And then that is the physical preparation. And mentally, how you going to ready. When you sit, the sitting means it is just not the physical sitting. So the mentally also you have to come to sitting. In the very first thing that you have to remember, don't sit with your personal identity. Oh, my name is this, and your gender, or I am this, and the family relationships, your duties, your place in the family. So don't sit with that things. Oh, I am the husband, I am the wife, I am the child, I am the father. Don't sit with that. Get out of that. It is conventional life, it is okay. But when you sit for meditation, sit as nobody. You don't have any identity and you don't have any place related to any connection or relationship. So that is the first thing. Another thing is, don't sit with the self-centered idea. I am doing this. I want this. Because we all depend on this phenomena or the nature. So humbly, just be part of the nature and accept and harmonize with the four elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness. You are not separate from this nature. You are part of the nature. So sit with that. That's the second. And the third one, sit with the very humble mind. Like how the king come to the advisors. The very first thing that the king does when he come to in front of the advisors, he take his crown and put on the table. And then he become equal with others. He never listened to somebody when the crown on his head. And because then he's the king and the whoever communicate. So the advisors cannot give advice when the king hold the crown on his head. So then that's mean that he become the higher than the king. So that is not good. So that's why he become more humble. He come down. So like when you going to play with the children not going to come to you like an adult and play. No, you become you bend, all joints you bend and you play with the child like a child. So you have to have the same kind of method and attitude when you sit for meditation. So remember, you sit with the more and so humble mind. So that is very necessary. It doesn't matter wherever you are. At home, you go to jungle or retreat center. No, remember these details. So first thing, you get out of the identity, you get out of the self, gender, you get out of your responsibilities, and you harmonize with the nature environment with the four elements, and you sit with the very humble mind. And humble mind, and at the same time, you have to keep very sharp and clear your awareness. So those are, you get ready with the mental. So physical, the posture, now mentally. So once you start to practice meditation, So you gain your primary mental object when you come to tranquility meditation. So if it is a loving kindness meditation, contemplating the death, or even contemplating the body, or anything, or we practice as our master technique, inhale or breathing meditation, or the anapana sati, contemplating inhalation exhalation. So then you have to be very clear with the technique you practice. That is not whatever that you want to practice. You learn what you should practice. Then you know, because once you close your eyes, if you know what to do, then it becomes very easy. Then no disturbances come because you know what to do. So then you get very clear understanding regarding the primary mental object. So it called nimitta. Nimitta means workplace. You recognize where you should work with your mind. And after that, what happen if the mind become busy? You don't put the effort. Now, when you keep practice, so you put your posture, your and the mental condition and the technique. Now you keep practice. So while you keep practice, if the mind become busy, don't put too much effort. Don't look for reasons why this mind is so busy like that way. Don't try to be too intelligent. Don't develop any kind of a logical mind while you having busy mind. So that is very important. Another thing is don't keep enjoy or don't allow it to happen that way. So those are the three things you should not do while the mind is busy. Then what you have to do, the important thing is relax your body a little bit, like shoulders, neck. Even you can move your neck a little bit in the beginning. And even if the legs sometimes, your hip, while you sitting, you can bend a little bit forward and stretch yourself, or you can stretch like this, your hands up. So like that, it giving a release. So that is important. Then you slowly go back to, you can do it very slowly, mindfully. So it like you take the hand, you closing your eyes, you take the hand, still you holding the arm, and mindfully you do it, mindfully. You stretching. It is still continue to the meditation. So like that. So that is the first thing. Another thing is, so that you come to a point to tranquilize and stay a little bit focused and tranquilizing and harmonizing with it. Allowing your mind to settle down, like how the water settle down. When the water busy, if you try to work with the water, what will happen? It become more busy. So then you allow it to settle. So like that, you have to allow your mind to settle down. So that way, the mind little by little, calm down. Another thing is that deeply you observe the very nature of the mind. You don't allow it to happen the way it happened. You slowly observe and recognize. So the sati. So the sati is the awareness you have to keep always. That is one of the best tools that you always have to keep within you. And if the mind become very lazy, in that very moment, you don't. Another thing is when the mind become the busy, you don't enjoy. I mentioned that. So when the mind become lazy, what you should do, you should not allow your body and the mind to calm down. So then it lead you to sleeping. Another thing is you don't allow it to tranquilize, harmonize with that. It also go to sleep. So then you bring the effort. So those are very important things you should know according to the condition of the mind, how you apply this. That itself, sati. You recognizing, oh, I feel so sleepy now. So then what you do, rather than relaxing your body, you bring the effort and keep your back straight. And mindfully you keep your neck head straight. So see, you saw the mind sleepy, and now you see what to do, and you bring the effort. Then you apply it. That itself, your meditation. It's why? Because you see the mind, you then react according to necessary situation. Another thing is, if the mind is so sleepy, tired, so then you have to have very happy mind. Keep the happiness in you. So just imagine yourself, you doing one of the greatest practice as a human being. And also this will take you to higher level of in the samsaric journey. It never take you down while you practice like this. Another thing is, it brings the calmness, it brings the the comfort to you. Look at you, like if you had a very busy time, and see how unrest. But look now yourself, you sitting, even physically, mentally, that see how that the comfort came to you. So you enjoy that little bit. It awake you. So like that, when that sleepiness come, you apply it. And also you develop the logical mind. You start to look why the sleepiness come. Then maybe you see, my posture. And maybe you see, oh, this cushion is too comfortable. And oh, because that is something. And recently I was watching this Elon Musk, his one of his program. Is very interesting. He never having any very comfortable seat. He never sit like a very cushion, comfortable seat. He always sit kind of like a very rough, like a strong cushion. So that it is a kind of like, because we look for that physical comfort, but he told he never, he don't like it. He want to awake when he sit in a chair. See, that's a kind of like the same thing with the cushion when you sit for meditation. But what we does mostly, oh, cushion should be more important for us than the meditation. It should be so perfect and it should be so comfortable. And we think that will help. No, it may take you to very sleepiness. So then remember, so like that way, according to the mind, apply the right tools. So it's kind of like a medicine. So you have the disease, sleepiness, disease, tiredness, disease, and the busyness is one of the dangerous disease that we carry within us. So you have the medicine now, mental condition, you apply it. So now you become a doctor like yourself, you work with your mind. So while you practice, and then if you don't gain any, then you come to the primary mental object and observe, keep observe, keep observe. So then you go. So in the beginning, we start with the tranquility meditation. This all details how to get ready. Then we go to tranquility meditation. In the beginning, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation separately. And then the beginning, middle, end. You observe entire breath body. Become very clear with the process from head to bottom. So the breath body means entire inhalation, no exhalation. So you observe the process, and while you're observing, you recognize in some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold, and each and every inhalation, exhalation unique. So you no need to put name on it. Just learn to see, because the seeing itself bring the recognition. This is all just the guideline to to encourage you how this will happen. That's it. But when you see, don't look. Oh, is this an inhalation? Is this an exhalation? No, just look. Then that the seeing will bring the information. So that is how you have to work with the tranquility meditation. So when the mind becomes tranquilized, your body, your mind, your breathing become one. Everything start to settle down to one. Then your five aggregates start to slowly, little by little, disappear. Kama, chanda, sensual desires, or the self-centered desire with your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind to find the satisfaction. So slowly it will settle down. And the anger or the vyapad or the resistance nature. So because when you like something, naturally the resistance arises. Now there is nothing like that, so you will settle down slowly. And thina midda, no any laziness, tiredness now. Because see, now you already applied, you already passed that process. And restlessness, what that regarding the yesterday or tomorrow, or regarding with the self-centered mind. So that also slowly will disappear. Why? Because your body, mind, breathing start to settle down to one, and then you break the timeline. That means the past and the future synchronize and become the present. And the doubt, the process itself you experience, then you know this work. And then regarding the practice, there is no doubt, you become very clear. And even regarding the past moment, you have no doubt, you know how this work. So from there you go to Vipassana. Now you're ready to go to Vipassana. So when it comes to Vipassana level, so as our primary mental object, we keep observing the sensation in front of our nose and upper lip area. Now we more familiar with the sensation. So when it comes to Vipassana, there are four meditation techniques, four foundation. Kaya-anupassana, contemplating the body. Vedana-anupassana, contemplating the mind. Chitta-anupassana, contemplating the thoughts. Dhamma-anupassana, contemplating the phenomena or the dharmata or the very nature. So now you already familiar with the sensation. So we start with the Vedana-anupassana. And even though it is related to Vedana-anupassana, remember the important with the Anapanasati, you can have access to this all four foundations, all these four meditation techniques through the Anapanasati. So while you're observing Anapanasati, that means all these four foundations happening in you. So in the beginning, you observe the sensation. When you observe, remember, you get out with all the details. Like you used to observe in tranquility meditation, the beginning, the middle, inhalation, exhalation, long, short, heavy, soft. You don't look for that. You just completely go to the sensation and recognize the sensation in that very moment. Stay with it. Maybe you keep observing, and sometimes slowly your whole body start to disappear and you feel only the feelings. Just keep observing. And then little by little, that feelings also you will see arising, existing, and disappearing, arising, existing, and disappearing. Keep observe. And then certain time you will recognize only thought exist. That thoughts also happening according to the very moment, in this very moment, according to this body, environment, and according to the phenomena. So when it comes to that, you will see this all your body, feeling, thoughts, recognition, this everything, and moment by moment, moment by moment change. That is where you go to 5 aggregates: form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. When it comes to that, there is no self-image. You don't have any kind of self-image carrying, oh, I am like this person. There is no physical structure in you. Why? Because already you release from the physical structure. So now you see form, feeling, sensation, formation, recognition. This all names this all come to you like as thoughts uh, happening in you. So whatever come as a feeling, and it's kind of like a start with the form. So as example, inhalation. Inhalation is a form. Otherwise, there is nothing called inhalation. So that's why when you see the beginning, middle, end, you recognize the process, entire process we call inhalation. So your body itself a form. And that form itself not going to exist separately. It brings the feeling. And the feelings start to bring the sensation. And the sensation bring the formations. And the formation bring the recognition. This is what happening moment by moment, moment by moment. Only thing is, without reacting, just learn to see. That is the important thing. Don't try to do anything, or don't try to make any comments, or don't try to have an inner conversation. Just simply learn to see. You will experience something. So we come to practice a little bit now. Your right palm on your left, and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and scan head to toes and say Sopatveva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also, think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalation, exhalation, and then later observe the sensation and impermanent, unsatisfactory nature and selflessness within any sensation come to you. So deeply and gently breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation in front of your nose. And allow your inhalation, exhalation to happen naturally itself. And while it happens, recognize this is inhalation, this is exhalation. Do nothing extra. Keep follow the entire continuation of your inhalation, exhalation. This is the beginning, this is the middle, this is the end. Also, you may experience some inhalation, exhalation become longer, shorter, heavy, soft, warm, cold. Just recognize it. Keep your attention only to the sensation and see how the sensation change moment by moment. And following the sensation, the recognition or recognizer also change. Observer also change moment by moment. So rather than just watching the object, observe how the object and subject both change. While you see the sensation change and see how you also change. Because sensation is reflection of your recognition. Bring attention to your body. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also, as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this with clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Visualize yourself and send it as a light forward, and little by little expand the capacity. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, when it comes to Buddha's teaching, these all teachings mainly based with two reasons. It trying to deliver you what is truth, and it trying to deliver you what is profitable to your life. Those are the main two pillars. What is the truth and what is profitable. So why we need the truth from some teachings? Because what we experience also truth, and we see it as true. So you have certain truth within yourself. So then why you need some Buddha or some teacher appear to you and tell what is the truth, what is the reality, what you experience. Even the Buddha come to this world, look, it's not going to bring anything from another planet, that it's going to explain regarding your day-to-day activities, regarding the same thing, regarding this own body, regarding our own mind, regarding our own thoughts. There is nothing, but still it is within us. Why then we cannot see it? The reason is, listen this very carefully and remember, why we cannot get truth. Even in day-to-day life, why we cannot conventionally, why we cannot achieve to success. Remember this. There is something that you believe as truth. So you want that to be the truth, the whatever around you. There is something you believe as truth. So you want that truth to be true around you. That's why the Buddha or some enlightened masters come to us and try to teach us that what we believe is not the truth. There is something is beyond that what we believe. But to drop what we believe, we need some help. So through the Dharma, we gain that help. So even in the success also, why you cannot achieve, why you cannot go beyond the layer that you hold it to? Because that sometimes you hold that you have your own version of success, thinking this is the success. And you think it should be the success around you. So then while you're believing that, you're not going to see something else. It's same like it happened to the God also. So that's why there are different gods and different versions of the gods according to what you believe as God. But you don't want to let go whatever the God in you, or the deities, or the higher source, or the powers, and you don't want to let it go, your version, and you don't want to see with the very clear open mind. So this happened to the truth also. So then remember, when it comes to life, that what we keep doing or what we holding can do only this. There's nothing else. That's why we are like this. So then you have to look yourself and see, do you need the change? And mostly we look for outside, that outside things need to change. And the house needs to remodel. We have to change the car, and we have to change the husband, wife. And even sometimes we need another child, or we need to go to another state or another country. So like that we change things. But still, we never look within ourselves and see where, in what part of us should change to experience something new. And because of that lack of that understanding, wherever we go, whatever we do, we experience the same. So then remember, the change should come within yourself. And especially when it comes to the environment, and we are struggling with other people, and how to deal with these people, how to deal with this situation. You cannot, because that is another person, same like you. You cannot escape from the nature. So then what you have to do, change yourself, because wherever you are, according to that, the place, time, space, energy that you hold, whatever you receive happens. So when you change the location, that means psychological location. When you change, that what you experience in your life, you're not going to experience. But psychologically, we going to be the same person. That is your psychological location. And then, but you don't like what you receive. It's not going to happen. It's going to come to you. But when you change your location, when you become a different person, then it cannot happen. So then if you see that you go through struggle, it is very difficult for you. If you need the change in your life, remember to have a higher purpose. Why? Because the higher purpose will uplift you from the ground level wherever you are. And then once you change your psychological location, that whatever you receive, it cannot reach to you. Like the president in here in United States, he just one tweet, and he can, spread all the anger around, but no one can reach to him because he's the president. See that? But if the ordinary person just posts something, and everybody, come behind him and block all the Twitter or the Facebook or account and everything closed down, even just a person, do very minor something and take to the jail. But see that when according to the place that it cannot reach there. So then you have to remember, look in within yourself, around you. If you don't want the reactions, whatever come around you, the very important thing is to remember yourself, take the responsibility. You are not in the right place. You are in the wrong place. You are the one who in the wrong place, not others. Take that responsibility. And then from there, start to change your location. Then you will go. But the thing is, once we think, oh, this is the truth, this is the reality, this is the best, this is profitable for us, we never going to change our location. Look at the Prince Siddhartha. He was in a palace, but he didn't, he understood it's not going to bring what he want. Then what he did, he changed himself. He didn't going to change the palace or the other people around him. He had the power to do that if he want, but what he did, he changed. So like that, you have to take responsibility regarding your own life. So today, talk about it. What you need the best in your life, what you have to develop. what you have to find, what is the skill that you have to get into yourself from here to entire your samsaric journey. So you heard the word called alone. This word alone is came from Latin and Greek. So this Latin word and the Greek, this word, the alone, means all in one, all one, all come in one. So that kind of meaning, all together. That is what called alone. So when you are alone, that means that everything should come together. But the thing is, on the way, what happened, we misunderstood this alone word. And then it kind of like a few hundred years back, it got another meaning. It's kind of like slowly it start to come and attack to that original meaning, and it's kind of like a hijacking. It's a isolation. So it is very interesting this how this alone word hijack this isolation. So now when somebody say, I am alone, so it's kind of like an idea, it's kind of like a isolated, stay alone. So that means, oh, you isolate from things. So what is this all in one? Because that is what you need in life, alone. That is the very similar thing called samadhi, tranquility state. So the all in one, the meaning, Latin and the Greek, they in that time the connotation and the explanation is one thing is timing. Remember this all I go details. One is timing. So when it comes to time, there are three components: past, future, present. So this all three should come together. Another thing is the mind and matter. So the matter means the time and space and the energy. So this all the environment, energy, the mind, time. When that everything come together, it's called alone. But the thing is, how this isolation word came. Because that when you try to be separate from something, you have desire to be with something. So then alone, that when you are not alone, it's called belong. You belong to something. So why you belong to something? Because your imagination. What is the imagination? Your fragmented mind, your scattered mind, your mind separate. From what your mind separate? Time. That is the very first thing. Even when it comes to the Buddha's teaching, that one of the misinterpretation regarding the self is the Sakkaya Ditthi, self-centered mind mean in the past I exist, in the future I going to be, and the present I am here like this. So like that you separate past, present and the future. See, that come out of the imagination. So then other thing is, once you separate the time, what happening? Your thoughts separate past experience, future desires, present experience. So once the mind separate, when the time separate, your mind separate. So when the mind separate, what will happen? Now time and the mind separate, then the space, you separate. So when the space separate, what happened? The energy separate, it's fragmented, scattered, go to parts. But when it comes to this very moment, look yourself, this everything together. But by thinking, visualizing, we break it down and we separate this. And as a result of that, what is happening? Imagination happening. So the imagination is a kind of like a dream state. That's why it's called illusion. So imagination, illusion, this all come out of separate mind. So when you separate yourself to parts, what happening? You become weak. Why? Because the energy, time, space, the moment of experience, this everything separate. Then you become weak. When the very moment of the weak consciousness happen, what happening? It need help from something. That's why you always belong to something. You look to belong to something, to become, go behind something, because of the weakness and the fear that make out of the fragmented mind. So then, why this fragmented mind happening like this way? Because our imagination and the thought processes come out of thought itself material. The thought come out of it is a material experience. Reaction, reflection bring the thoughts. And the reaction, reflection bring the thoughts, and itself the thought, when it come to the thought process that the deeply thought itself weak. Just one thought or the thought process itself weak. It needs something to clinging, hold. Otherwise it disappears. That's why you see, when you see the mind, it arises, it cannot be there. It go away. Just I give us example. From birth to now. Just imagine, if you remember all the thoughts, how your mind going to be now? Do you think you're going to have a very calm, relaxed, peaceful mind? And even without any effort, that thoughts went away. So one thought itself is not going to be there unless if you keep repeating. So see that the repetition of the thought bring the strength to that thought. Then we are the one who doing it. So we are the one who responsible, whatever the strong mindset that we carry. Why? Because we are the one who thought again and again and again and again. So then, in this very lifetime, what you have to do? Don't be limited to thoughts. Because out of the limited thoughts, action, reaction, result, then what happening? The knowledge come. So the knowledge bound to thoughts, it is very limited. And not only limited, it is very weak. It doesn't matter psychological knowledge or scientific knowledge, it is very limited. Look at when the virus situation came, that what happened to all the scientific knowledge is still, it never came to a point to understand what this is. Because the knowledge is very limited. Why? Because the knowledge go with the memory. When something new come, the knowledge cannot access to it. That's what we all experience today. But why still that we hold it to that? And without understanding the mechanism of the mind and the knowledge, why we don't look beyond the knowledge now. But it's still people don't look into that. So whatever the knowledge that you have within yourself also very limited. That's why you experience this kind of all the struggle to you. Because if your knowledge is unlimited, or if it is help you to have the whatever the life you want, it should already happen. But it's not going to happen. Why? Because you bound to the thoughts, you bound to the experience, you bound to you harbor, and you kind of like a spider, create the web out of that what you know, and that is knowledge, and you live with it. And then you think it is the truth. So then what happening when you read a book, when you watch a movie, when you listen to a music, or when you uh, watching any documentary, if that what you believe as truth, reflect on that, you accept it. That is why you not going to change, world not going to change. So it's kind of like we massaging our own head and become comfortable with that. So that we done by our knowledge. So then what we have to do? We have to learn to be alone. So the being alone means you start to accumulate all the strength, the capacity in you, and take responsibility and be with it. Learn to be alone. And when it comes to alone, remember the time, mind, space, energy, you put everything together, then itself it becomes strong. Then once it becomes strong itself, it never look something to, to be belong. So otherwise you always try to belong to something. And we belong to culture, tradition, nations, religions, the believing system. So like that, we hold it to that. But the samadhi, tranquility state is the moment that really bringing you this real strength. So then in day-to-day life, learn to be alone. So you have to practice it, because that is the real moment of the being, or the experience of life. When you come to the moment to be alone, in that very moment, what happening? So whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, without thinking or without knowledge, you're going to experience. So that is what called seeing. So this is what? This is how the knowledge, or what you see as truth, break down, and you go into something new. This is what happening. Listen this very carefully and try to catch it. Okay. So now there is something you hold as your knowledge, as the truth you know. Then you start to be alone, and you bring all the strength to yourself. Time, mind, space, energy, everything you put it to one place without depending from the knowledge. So once you put it to one place, what is happening? So as you know, your mind or your consciousness or your awareness can hold one action at one time. It cannot do two actions. It is not multitasking. It is happening so fast, and because of that we think it can do many. No, at one time your mind can do only one thing. So we start from that place. Then You put everything together, and that in that very moment, what is happening? Whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, that means the perception or the experience come to you through the senses. In that very moment, you see it. When you see, no knowledge. Because remember, your mind can have one action one time. So if you use the knowledge, you cannot see. If you use past experience, if you use your thoughts, you cannot see. That is what called samsara. But if you see, there is no thoughts, no knowledge, no past experience, because the seeing itself is the action. You cannot, it is not kind of like a thinking and seeing. No, because the seeing itself become the action. But now, thinking is our action. So mind can do only one thing at one time. So when the thinking becomes the action, that means the repetition or reflection become the action you cannot see. But when you become alone, what the strength you gain, naturally you get the power within your mind to see. So when you see, that become your life experience, that become your wisdom. So it is moment by moment, when you see moment by moment, there is no collective experience. Because if you collect, what will happen? The moment of seeing going to disappear. So when you see in the moment, you don't need anything, because you don't look to belong to something. You don't look to depend from something. Why? Because you already see. You already connect to the truth. So when you be with the truth, what you need anymore? You don't need anything. But if you don't see the truth, or you don't belong to the truth, you will get the help until you go into it. But getting help or even depending from our own memory or our own knowledge, it's not going to take us to there. So the meditation is the method. We drop that everything, and we develop a pattern to bring all the strength together and reverse this fragmented mind, scattered mind, and bring all the energy together and stay in one place and see. That is what you need. That is what, through the tranquility meditation, that is what, through this sitting in day-to-day life, try to be alone. So the mentally also get out of this isolation, the idea of imagination, because we imagine something. That's why that it take us to that imagination or the isolation. This when we become alone. No, becoming alone is the best gift that you can have. Why? Because that is the moment you're going to see. But when we belong to something, we always thinking, depending from knowledge and repetition, reactions. So that kind of things happening. So yourself, to gain the liberation or to find the ultimate truth, the very basic fundamental practice that you have to do, learn to be alone. Little by little, 1 minute, determine yourself. Don't have any thought. Just completely be alone yourself. Never have any kind of mental image. Never think about anybody. That's why when in the beginning I mentioned, get out of your mental image, your position, your duties, And when you sit with that, it makes you alone. So that becoming alone is the point to make you strong. That when you become strong, that is the point that you're going to see. When you see, that is the point you're going to harmonize with the truth. When you harmonize and when you see the truth, that is the moment your transformation happens. That is the moment your liberation happens. So this is the process, and day by day, little by little, you have to practice it yourself, and you have to give some times and then fulfill the journey. So for that, I bless upon everyone. May all of you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you, may no difficulties come to you, may no problems come to you. May you also have the patience, courage, understanding, and determination to meet and overcome inevitable difficulties in your life. During this time period, may everyone stay healthy and safe. And finally, may all of you attain supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sabbityo vajjantu sabbarogo vinasatu mate bhavattantarayo sukhi digayuko bhava. Ittavata cha mihi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu.